Yeah, listen, the Pelicans lost last night. They're not playing very well. They missed Brandon Ingram. That's not the story. The story is Zion had a ho-hum 34 points on 67% shooting, which means he ties Shaquille O'Neal for this record, longest streak, 20-plus points on at least 50% from the field. To 25 games, Zion will break Shaq's streak in his next game. A little context for that. One could make the argument that if you were doing an all-time draft of all NBA players at a certain time, that 01 Shaquille O'Neal would be the first overall pick. Higher than 2013 LeBron, higher than 1991 Jordan. You could make the argument 01 Shaq would be the #1 pick of all time. And Zion, in his second year, has tied that record from Shaq. I know no one's paying attention to the Pelicans. We should start paying a little more attention because what Zion is doing, Jenna, should be impossible, and it's become mundane.
See you tonight.
I like that. That's a good point. You guys following Texas baseball this year? Texas baseball, they're known for three things. They got your starting pitching, depth in the lineup, and then, of course, after last night, possums in the outfield. Look at this motley crew trying to catch a possum. 3 guys and a bucket. Guys, the possum can reach speeds of up to 4 miles an hour. For context, I can run 11 miles an hour. Perhaps a little more speed and a little less bumping into each other, Three Stooges style. You're so far from the possum. You got no shot of catching the possum. I'll open the door. Maybe the possum will turn around. Terrible decision. Nobody wants the possum. They want to pretend they're cats. This is like the opposite of Rocky and the chicken.
They're afraid of him.
The possum finally just leaves the stadium. Afraid of the possum.
No,
afraid of the possum. That's what it has to be.
You're right, Jenna.
It's going to be a special season for Texas this year. Special season. Bottom line.
Oh, you know who the sleeper of the draft is? Mr. Kellen Mond. Brandon Marshall's been early on this since the House of Athlete Pro Day. And you know who is making some noise? Where he might wind up, the most professional of organizations. Here's a quote from the Boston Globe. He's been texting with McDaniels. Senior Bowl, it was more formal, like, hello, Kellen Mond, tell me about you. And now it's gotten more deeper into football, so that should be good too. If you want to join a professional organization that brings home Lombardi trophies, you want every interaction to start with, hello, Kellen Mond, tell me about you. Great job, Patriots brass. Hello, Kellen Mond.
Is the texting allowed?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Text gate.
Retweet it or delete it. Let's go. Sticking with the Patriots' future at quarterback. So could Teddy Bridgewater be the answer? An NBC Sports Boston column pondered the idea. Brandon, you retweeting or deleting the idea of the Patriots trading for Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah, I'm going to delete this, Jenna. And I got to be honest and I got to be truthful. Here's the deal. You know, as a former player, retired player, you know, you're put in this box when you go from playing ball to now broadcasting. So Teddy Bridgewater works out here every single day. I said that yesterday on the show. He comes in every morning at 7 a.m. He jumps in the steam room. He loosens up. He takes a shower, maybe a little too much information, but then he goes out there, works with Coach Troy Jones. Like, that's his routine every single day, right? But when I walk off the show at 9:30, I go into the locker room, and Teddy Bridgewater is usually there. Now he's going in the hot tub, cold tub, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I can't be that guy because I'm in this box, and they're like, well, Brandon, if I give you too information, you might go on TV and say something, right? Anytime I call my guys around the NFL, whether it's general managers, former general managers, head coaches, players, it's the same thing. Well, you know you work for the media now, so I can't say too much to you, or you got to make sure you don't use this. Here's the deal with Teddy Bridgewater. This is what I can say. He's not going to the Patriots. It's not happening. I think there's still discussions to be had with the Carolina Panthers where they got to decide what they want. I believe the Carolina Panthers still want Teddy Bridgewater there. They want a little bit of competition, but we also know that you didn't trade for Sam Darnold for him to really compete. Teddy Bridgewater wants to compete. Teddy Bridgewater is a winner. Teddy Bridgewater's been winning games going back to Little League, Optimist football down in Miami, then going to Louisville, then going to Minnesota before that devastating knee injury. He goes to the Jets, he sits. He goes to the Saints, he sits. He goes now here, and now he's ready to go. So Teddy Bridgewater is not going to the Panthers. It could be Carolina. I mean, he's not going to the Patriots. Could be the Carolina Panthers. And there's some other teams that's calling as well.
So I'm going to retweet it. And listen, I'm going to be totally honest. Teddy Bridgewater is not standing 28 feet away from me as he is with Brandon. So Brandon's commentary on this particular topic might be a little more meaningful to you. However, I'm retweeting it just because I think it's good for New England. I think that you definitely need a Cam insurance policy. And while I know Wilds, everyone says you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I do think a semi-platoon of Bridgewater and Cam could be very interesting for Josh McDaniels. McDaniels could have his old Tebow packages in for Cam as far as the run-pass option, any goal line stuff, any short yardage stuff, and then let Teddy be more of the point guard drop-back passer. So if Carolina is shopping him, I do think if the price is right, New England should be one of the teams calling about it.
It's an interesting take. I learned 2 things in this segment. 1, Teddy Bridgewater is not going to New England. 2, the House of Athlete water bill is out of control between the steam room, the ice bath, the hot tubs.
Hot
it's
showers,
just out of control. The smoothie station, we haven't even talked about that. The shower. There's just a ton of aquatic activities. You got to talk to the local water board, see if you can get a discount, Brandon.
Let's talk about Saquon Barkley. I haven't talked about him in a while. Top incoming running back Najee Harris said a healthy Saquon is the best running back in the NFL. We just haven't seen a healthy Saquon. Saquon's coming off that torn ACL in week 2 last season. Brandon, you retweeting or deleting Najee Harris's claim that a healthy Saquon is the best running back in the NFL?
I'm going to retweet it. And Wiles, this is a coincidence. A couple days ago at the water cooler at House of Athlete, I'm standing next to Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks, big defensive tackles, one of the best defensive tackles in the National Football League, plays for the Chicago Bears. He's a stud muffin. And the conversation just came up as far as who's the best running back. We have Leonard Fournette here. We have a couple other guys here who just came in. Kareem Hunt just came in. And we have somebody else here. I'm missing somebody. But we started talking about running backs. And Hicks said, I'm going to tell you guys this. The best running back to me is Saquon. I said, what do you mean Saquon? Because there's all this talk around him not hitting the holes. He want to bounce everything. And he really hasn't just been had that umph season. He said, Brandon, I felt it. Like I'm the one in those trenches. And when he hit me, he hit me. And he said, Saquon is the real deal. So if Akeem Hicks is saying it, then I'm going to say it and I'm going to retweet it.
Okay, wow. 2 things I'm going to say here. I think both might anger Brandon Marshall, but he'll thank me for it later. It'll take longer. First point. You can remove Muffin from when you say he's a stud. We don't need stud and Muffin. That's more like Jenna's 80s comedies than it is NFL commentary, all right? That's first point. Just remove that from the lexicon. Second point, how in the world does Derrick Henry go from riding a dolphin, holding an MVP, to the second best running back? Did you forget about your MVP, aquatic superhero Derrick Henry? So nothing against Saquon.
Listen.
I think he's great. I think he's awesome. I think he's the best running back potentially in the NFC. But Derrick Henry's alive, Brandon, so I have to delete this, and I think you do as well. It's your MVP.
Right. Melvin Gordon was the other running back in the discussion. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Hey, go Badgers.
Yeah. Stud Muffin.
I think the Giants would straight up trade Derrick Henry for Saquon Barkley. So I think Derrick Henry is still the king of the mountaintop. One final note, bonus take, Jenna. I would like this device that he's wearing to train his ACL available for just commercial purposes, because you know, we've got kids, and my kids always want to challenge me to races, and I smoke them every time. But if I had some sort of like weight so I could practice, like Saquon's getting toasted by his daughter here, so I don't know how we think about how he's going to bounce back. But I would like to buy this apparatus to race my children. He's getting close, so maybe it's a bad
harness.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
That's smart.
let me give a real. Hold on one second. One second. Let me give a real analysis here,
Yeah.
Nick. It's almost like the discussion between Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders, right? Like Barry Sanders was doing
very
things
different.
just on his own, right? Yeah, so like as part of this discussion too was this dude